Today's shoot is all about glamour with a holiday twist. Hey everybody, Lindsay Adler here, and happy holidays to you. Every holiday season, I set aside time to make sure that I create some holiday content. I can use this in email blasts and social media, and it gives me thematic content to push out, and plus it gives me an excuse to have fun. This year's theme is that we wanted to do a glamorous twist on a nutcracker. Now what's funny is I actually let my team know that this was the concept I wanted to do, and my wardrobe stylist told me that he had a bunch of nutcracker hats that he bought for his dog, so we got to use it in this glamour shoot. In the end, we are going to be using 5 different lights. I wanted something that had kind of a poppy glamorous glow, perhaps some clamshell light. I wanted a little sparkle, perhaps with some hard light and star filter. And of course, I wanted to integrate my favorite color. So with that, let's get started, and I'm going to build in each light one by one. Let's begin by setting the scene with my background. The background that I'm using here is a Savage Universal Primary Red, which is my go-to when I want a saturated red color. And then for my main light, I wanted a soft light source that would flatter her skin and also carve out her beautiful features. And for that reason, I've chosen a 3-foot Octabox, mostly centered on the face and at an angle just to give her a little bit of sculpting and shape. We're going to begin there. So let's take a look. You are definitely seeing her cheekbones and jawline, and everything is sculpted, but I'm not really getting holiday glow to this. It doesn't feel glamorous, and that's because the shadows are so heavy and there's no sparkle to the eyes. And so what that means is I need to add a fill light to fill in those shadows. My choice of fill light, however, is going to do something else as well. Yes, it'll fill in the shadows, but I also, later on, want to add a special effect to create sparkles across those sequins. So for that reason, my second light, my fill light, is a bare bulb on a floor stand. It is centered in front of the subject, giving me this beautiful clamshell light that's going to be bright and poppy. So let's add our second strobe. The light on her face is so much more flattering and so much more glamorous, and I want this to be something that could look like it was a campaign for a cosmetics ad, or it could be something fun and campy that you would see from Sephora or something like that. So a little bit more that I need to do to make this have that commercial and polished look. Now, as I look at this, it doesn't feel the fun that I'm going for because the background is so dark. So what I need to do is add a light to the background. That is going to be our third strobe. It's on a floor stand behind the subject, but I'm going to take a very different approach than I usually do when I'm lighting a red background. Typically, my tip is that when you light red, you underlight it. That's how you make it look dark and rich. But in this case, I don't want everything to be dark and moody. I want it to be glowy and fun and maybe a little bit high key, which is why we're going to overexpose the background. In fact, any color, when it becomes so overexposed, actually begins to kind of look white. It loses its color information. So we're going to take a bare bulb floor stand behind her, way overexposed. Let me show you how it's going to give me a playful high key look. So you can see that the subject looks like she is glowing. There's a beautiful gradient of light behind her. The image is much higher key. This is definitely feeling a lot more commercial. Now, by the way, a lot of times if you do this and you try this overexposed effect where it's kind of raking from the bottom, sometimes your background will look a little ripply, like there's some texture on it. I recommend you check out a program called Evoto. They actually have a setting for removing banding and texture on backgrounds, and it makes fixing the background so fast. So I have a link to that in the description you can check out as well. All right, with 3 lights, I think this could be totally fine, totally acceptable. It gives me that cosmetic look. But I think why not go even poppier, even more polished? So we're going to go from 3 to 5 lights, and our last 2 lights are going to be rim lights. 1 by 4 foot strip softboxes on either side of the subject, and it's just going to carve out her cheekbones or jawline, just give it a little bit more pop from the background and even more of a high key glistening look. So we're going to add our last 2 strobes for a total of 5. I think this absolutely is looking like glowy, glamorous holiday, but one thing that could make it look a little bit more holiday would be a little glitz and glam, maybe a little bit of sparkle. And so I'm going to add my last feature, which is a 4-point star filter. A star filter is going to take that hard light from our fill light below, and anywhere it hits a gemstone or a sequin, it will give us a little starburst effect. So it'll give us more of that holiday magic. So let me take the same shot, but this time with my star filter. All right, so we have all the ingredients for a beautiful holiday image. Beautiful lighting, styling, gorgeous subject, and a little bit of a star filter. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Canon EOS R5 and the 24-105 lens and try different angles, try different expressions, and of course work with my model to get something that feels like it's filled with holiday cheer. All right, let's go shoot. All right, so that was exactly what we were going for, something that feels holiday, feels a little camp, feels a little glamorous, all in one. And remember, this is something that you can plan ahead of time. I basically shoot for every holiday. I'm shooting for Halloween and for Valentine's Day. And I plan this ahead because it gives me images that not only are fun, push me creatively, but also are great content to allow me to market myself in a timely manner. So if you guys want to see the gear used in the making of these images, be sure to check out the links in the description below. And of course, visit Adorama.com. And if you've enjoyed this video and like to see more, be sure to like and subscribe. Happy holidays, everybody.